So we're going to go for a walk and just have a quick squiz through this railway museum. Well, it's not a museum, it's just a little place with bits of railway stuff in it. I just opened my drink bottle and it was fizzy. Splashed everywhere. But you know, you can't hold a camera and open a bottle that's going to splash everywhere at the same time. Trying to hold this straight. So this is an old wagon. Dancing Charlie. Just some old railway equipment. I think they actually run a little train line along here sometime through the year. I'm not sure what part, which is kept in there. November is the next one. So there's the sign Newcastle, which is what Toodyay originally was called. So of course the obligatory video showing that I have been here. Going to go under the bridge and back up the way I came down, and we'll stop by the church, and then I might just grab a coffee and then go to the mill. Leaving this on here long enough that if you want to pause and read it, it's really interesting. Trade routes, scar trees, song lines, ochre. Here's the oldest church in Toodyay. I've only ever seen it from the outside, and I guess it's the only way I'll ever see it. See if I can read this plaque. This enclosed area has been set aside for reception of cremated remains. The names of those who have been placed here and recorded in the remembrance book at the rear of the church. So it's full of ashes. There's the old bell. We shall go to the Coca-Cola Museum and Restaurant. This is a museum. It's got everything Coca-Cola imaginable. And magnificent Coca-Cola. All the glasses. Sorry if the reflections are getting on the way. It's probably the biggest collection in the world. I shall find out. So here we go. We're going into the old Connor Mill, built in 1870. Local farmers delivered their wheat to Connor's Mill, where the miller hoisted it to the top floor, fed it into the seed cleaner. Currently, I have to figure out which season we're in. October to November is spring. Bees were flying vigorously, large loads of pollen were coming in, the flow was on. Migratory hive sites established across the state's forest by the Cook family required close supervision to protect the hives from pests and disease. Bee aviaries were a huge thing in New Zealand and obviously in West Australia. Bit more modern now, except for basically that. Beekeeping in the bush. So West Australia requested prisoners from England to fill the gap of labourers required. Toodyay farmers saw the advantage of convict labour. By 1851, the work party's called ticket of leave men arrived. Changing times, changing uses. Farming is carried on in a rough way here. It has been found that this English system will not answer to New Holland. Daniel Connor was a convict and he came to Australia in the 1800s and he became one of the wealthiest men in the district. He bought this steam engine from the UK in 1849 and it was sent over, it arrived in Toodyay in 1850 and he set it all up to process the wheat. Yeah, so it's quite interesting actually. There's lots of different things in the museum, but it was really hard to video with that machine making that noise. So cool to be walking through here and hardly know people. I think this must be the old hotel that was mentioned in that museum, in that mill. This is the Toodyay railway station. I'm not actually catching a train at the minute. I'm going to go to the jail when I find it. So I found the RSL memorial. Back again. Well, just about finished looking around Toodyay. I found the RSL memorial and I'm actually looking for the historic jail. I've got a sheet of paper that's got a map on it, so I'll have a look at that in a minute. And that'll give me time to look around that, and then I can sit in the call until the train comes. Just listen to the sounds of the birds. Newcastle Jail and Police Stables in the museum.
Good afternoon.
Oh, hello. Didn't know if there was anybody in here or not. Oh, there is somebody here.
Yes, I'm alive. Last time I looked.
So this is the old jail. These are the grounds, the well. And the cells. We shall go and have a look in them. There's the stocks. Oh. Too much information. Moondyne Joe, they celebrate him all the time here. Oh, that's what it is. Joseph Johns, also known as Moondyne Joe. He's a bit of a rebel. There he is there. Well, so in 1861 he was accused of unlawfully branding a horse. He escapes from the Toodyay lockup, leading to the establishment of the Newcastle jail. He came 4 years later, he was convicted of killing an ox, and he escaped, and he was caught later and imprisoned in Freo. He escapes Fremantle. They commit several robberies. He attempts to escape to South Australia but is captured at Boodlin Soak. 67, he escapes Fremantle again. That's Fremantle prison, which I haven't done a story there. By breaking through the prison wall while crushing rocks with a sledgehammer, then falling the guards with a dummy. He stays on the run for 2 years until he's recaptured at Horton's Winery. So these are cells, just to let you know. This cell is dedicated to the Dorezi brothers. 4 men from Toodyay left Australia to defend Singapore. That's a story about them. This is their memorial cell. Another cell. This represents the schools, early settler children. Most of the people were put in here for drunkenness, fighting and minor acts of theft. The bigger ones, murder and that sort of thing, were sent to Perth. These are old 19th century dress shoes, child's boot, 1880s, leather gaiters, boot scraper. Oh, that's what I need sometimes when I've been to see the swans. Oh, that fly's following me. Makes me want to cry.
When I was a kid, we went through the whole family. We used to take the sick ones down to the camp near the hospital. I'm not going there. That's where people die. Still, could be worse. At least I wasn't sent down Freo way or across the sea to Wodjuma. I'll just look for work somewhere else. Perhaps I'll end up working for the coppers across the road. It's only 2 months. Not a family waiting outside for me.
And handed over to the colonial police in 1865.
This is the court.
Western Australia was declared a penal settlement in 1849, and the first convict transport ship arrived in June 1850. The convict system was based in Fremantle, around which smaller convict hiring depots operated. Upon arrival, prisoners could be initially classified as probationary convicts, labouring in gangs on public works while
Wound on Joe.
Well-behaved men were granted a ticket of leave and could work for wages. They were sent to a hiring depot to find employment where the convict was expected to support himself. If he became unemployed, he then returned to the depot to be fed and housed.
So I'm currently standing in a shearing shed that's over 180 years old. I can almost hear them working. I don't know how old that wall is, but I don't think it's 185 years old. That's a wool packer. So we have a goods train. Wasn't that totally awesome? Hi, well it's now 4:30 in the afternoon and we've just got back from Toodyay on that train and now I am going home.